Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we check out the all-new Apollo X4 audio interface from Universal Audio. In the fickle world of the music industry, there are few instances that I can think of where you mention a particular brand name and it brings instant respect from professionals to entry-level users and everyone in between. And Universal Audio is absolutely one of those companies. When you say Universal Audio, people perk up and they listen. And you know who also listens is Universal Audio, because they have just introduced the new X4 audio interface, and I'm really actually stoked about it. Now, full disclosure, before we go on, I am a Universal Audio user, a longtime user, and artist, and they are friends of mine. I've used my Apollo 8 interface for several years now. I use it every single day. I love it. I got it on a really good deal, which I'm really proud of, which I got its Christmas thing. My point is that I'm gonna say a lot of good things about this interface, and I'm gonna tell you guys where I think it fits into the architecture of the entire Apollo line of audio interfaces. Now, the best way to think of the X4 is think of it as kind of a double stuff of the Apollo Twin Quad, meaning there's just double of what you would normally have in an Apollo Twin. So instead of 2 XLR inputs, you now have 4. Instead of 1 guitar high-Z input, you have 2. Instead of 1 headphone out, you now have 2. You also have Thunderbolt connectivity, and you also have the amazing converters that are found in the Apollo X8 series of rack mount interfaces, which is really, really good. Now, in addition to all of those features, there is also a built-in Talkback Mic. You can use this as a monitor controller while also taking advantage of the processing DSP power of the unit when using it as a monitor controller, so none of that awesome sonic juice goes to waste. Now, here's why I am excited for the Apollo X4 interface. I really think this bridges a gap that very much existed from the Apollo Twin Quad to the big rack mount interfaces of the Apollo X, Apollo 8P, Apollo 16, etc., etc. You either had 2 inputs or a whole bunch of inputs, and this really is a bridge between those 2 sides of the user spectrum. And recently, when Dragged Under, my band was recording our album, it was recorded entirely with Universal Audio Apollo Twin Quad, but there were some issues doing it that way. When we would track in a room, we had a room full of 4 guitar players, and if someone was either trying to teach someone else a riff, or someone was to learn a riff, or someone was playing something incorrectly, or they could play it differently, there was a ton of switching and handing off of that one guitar, because the Twin only had 1 single 1/4 inch high-Z input. In this particular example, having 2 inputs would have been game-changing and honestly very, very time-saving in my band's specific situation. But I don't think that situation is really unique to me or my band. I think that's a common situation for a lot of people. I mean, I've been in that situation myself many, many times. Like, man, I just wish I had 1 more input, or, you know, 1 more microphone input, because we have 1 on the vocal, we have 1 on the guitar cab, and I would love another for either a reference or a bass on top of the guitar, etc., etc. So the X4 really just kind of opens it up while still keeping you in the nice bear hug that is Universal Audio. I love it. Now, I may be stating the obvious, but the Universal Audio plugins that can be used with the X4 and all Apollo interfaces are world class, in my opinion. And you can also take advantage of the 127 dB of dynamic range the Unison preamps offer, which is just crazy. So you can throw on a little API, throw on a little Neve action, and you are good to go. You're done. Post Malone's entire Beer Bongs and Bentley album was recorded with Universal Audio Apollo Twin. Think about that for a second. And finally, the Apollo X4 is retailing for about $1,800. I think it's a really good deal if the Apollo 8 is a little out of your budget and the Twin doesn't really offer enough inputs for what your particular recording situation is. And also, it's small enough so you can still throw this in a backpack and travel with it if you want. All around awesome, home run for Universal Audio, and I am super stoked that this has been added to the Apollo line. All applicable links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Wow, another video gone by. Hope it was pretty good. I mean, it's probably pretty good. But if it wasn't, awkward, right?